July 19th, 2025. Guys, you're looking at current images over the U.S. right now. These are satellite and infrared images, and it is 6:11 p.m. Central Time as I'm starting the video. Very cold air in the central part of the nation, but guys, this is pushing down very far south. You see this line right there where it goes from light color to dark. That's the kind of the very crisp edge of this cold front. They're talking about now in our area in central Mississippi, starting at 6 p.m. this afternoon, being below freezing and possibly record cold until noon Friday. Now, tomorrow's just Thursday, and the temperatures were hovering around as far as the lows and the wind chills in the expected forecast, guys, around 7 or 8. Right now, they're saying 3 degrees, and it looks like we're going to be breaking records all over the nation. Now, I just got this information, decided to do this video. I'm also doing things like turning some water on, guys, 3 degrees, okay? Letting some water drip. Of course, the Huskies are all in the house. They've got, they're warm, high, and dry. Now, the other things you need to worry about is this: antifreeze in your car. At 3 degrees, guys, it could freeze. You may go out in the morning, crank it up, and you got a busted block, which means a rebuilt motor or a new motor. Things like that are important. Now, it's kind of late in the game right now, but if you've got some and you're not sure, check it. Okay, you still got some daylight left. It's 4:13 now over on the West Coast. You're not going to get it quite as cold as we are unless you're in the higher up elevations. But guys, this thing is very dangerous right here. We're talking about changes in the tilt of our planet. And so we're starting to see extremes: summer, winter, hurricanes, tornadoes, the whole 9 yards. And this has been a pretty good system moving through. Look right here, that it's now offshore, and that's a good thing. You guys in Hatteras are starting to get a break from the heavier precipitation. But guys, this is nothing to play with. Again, get your pets in, let your water run and drip unless you in a place you don't have to worry about that. And if you can't get to your car, and check your antifreeze, don't crank it first thing in the morning. If you're in our area, don't crank it until afternoon Friday, because that's how long this deep freeze is supposed to last. Now, we've prepped every way we could: extra firewood, solar panels are ready. We got the wood burner, things like that. We got the little Mr. Buddy heaters, or the Mr. heaters you can use with propane if we have to. So we're pretty much ready, even if the power goes out. One good thing about these temperatures and the power, guys, is the moisture's out of here. And what that tells you is you're not going to have that freezing rain and things like that on the line. Your tree limbs are on the light lines themselves and causing the power outages. Now, it's a little more windy up here. Check this out. Just around the Chicago area, you're kind of close to the center of circulation. In the higher elevations in Colorado, in this area, in the Four Corners, you're starting to get some moisture. Not as much in the Southern California as we were talking about, just a very thin stream. Now, that could change. Right now, we're dealing with very cold temperatures. Let me just show you the forecast for central Mississippi, and you can click on this map, or the National Weather Service map, or AccuWeather's map to your area and get the information. But I'm going to give you an idea, because, guys, we're only from my home to the Gulf of America. It's about a 2-hour drive, but these temperatures are getting very much closer than that, than our area, as far as being very low. You could have these temperatures down all the way to the coast, maybe below 10. So think about that. I remember 30 years ago, there was I'm just estimating that time. It's been a lifetime, it seems like. But there was a hard freeze in New Orleans, Louisiana. And it was a guy he had several apartment complexes around the nation. But he asked me to take a crew and go down there, because 250 units of 500 unit system apartments there, they were over in East New Orleans. and they were called Green Tree, guys, I think is the name of it. And they were right off of Crowder Boulevard, right there where you had the car dealerships. Anyway, we remodeled about 250 of them. Why? Because it was two-story apartments and the copper pipes burst in this type of cold. Ruined everything. We replaced carpets, appliances, paint. Everything had to be redone. We got it done, but man, it was a nightmare. So guys, again, think about those type situations. Make sure your water is running. That's going to be a main thing unless you're in some of these stormier areas and you could have a power outage. Still, you want to have some water running. Now, fill up your bathtubs. That can be used to flush your commodes. It could be boiled. It could be filtered. All of the above. Make sure you have that because that's a pretty inconvenient thing to have is no water at all. Now, again, I want to show you the local temperatures. Now, this came out this afternoon. It's called a cold weather advisory from the National Weather Service. This is our area. Here's Jackson, Mississippi. Let me pull this down just a little bit. Notice that when you get to Hattiesburg, you're only about 59 miles from the beach, but this goes much further. You're probably down in Stone County by this point, Wiggins, somewhere in that area. But all of this area from 6 p.m. tonight, which it's past that point, I'm looking at my weather station now, it's 28, feels like 24, but it's been below freezing much longer than now. That started happening 3 or 4 hours ago here. But this is from 6 p.m., notice, till 12 p.m. Friday, not tomorrow, but Friday. It says cold weather advisory is now in effect from 6 p.m. this evening until noon Central Time Friday. Wind chills as low as 3 above expected. Portions of northeast Louisiana, central, east central, north central, northeast, south central, southeast, southwest, and west central Mississippi. You could just about said everybody. Okay, wind again from 6 p.m. this evening to noon Friday impacts very cold conditions. Low wind chill values could lead to hypothermia with prolonged exposure. Guys, even today, and if you're in this area, you notice that we probably got close to in the high 50s, maybe 60. But that chill in the wind, it sure didn't feel like that warm, did it? Because you could go out like to the mailbox or something like that. By the time you got back, you wish you had an extra coat on. And again, that's the very cold conditions. Low chill, wind chill values can lead to hypothermia. If you're working out in or you get called out into it, you're a record driver or emergency responder, make sure that you are properly dressed. Again, pets, plants, pipes. And one of the most dangerous things you can do, guys, is to try to drive in this weather. Because if you have any moisture on your overpass, it's going to be slick. If your car breaks down because of cold weather, your battery dies, you're going to be stranded. And it's just, if you don't have to, don't do it. Most of you are aware this weather was coming in. It wasn't supposed to be quite this cold, but you knew it and you were trying to get prepared, and that's all you can do. But it says use caution when traveling outside. Wear appropriate clothing, a hat, gloves. Make frequent checks on older family, friends, and neighbors. Ensure portable heaters are used correctly. Again, especially your propanes. Do not use generators or grills inside. Keep pets indoors as much as possible. Make sure outdoor animals have a warm, dry shelter, food, and unfrozen water. It doesn't take temperatures like this to freeze it, guys. It can just drop a little bit below freezing. And depending on the depth of your water pan, then how quickly it can freeze. So make sure you're checking on that. Just wanted to come in here with a short video, guys, and let you know this is a critical situation. This is going to break records. People are going to get very cold, and there's going to be problems. You got a flu season trying to make a breakout, and this colder temperatures really affect your body's ability or your immune system's ability to fight these things off. So remember that. Are you going to go out and get in a big crowd at a big store or something? Just take time to think and be wise, guys. We're watching it. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.